Spirit. Where is spirit? Well, spirit's everywhere. There's nowhere where spirit is not. Spirit is 100% evenly present in all places at the same time. Now, that's a big statement. I want you to think of what we're saying. Spirit is 100% evenly present in all places at the same time. That's an enormous statement when you think about it. Spirit is 100% evenly present in all places at the same time. You're a spiritual being. So there's part of you that's 100% evenly present in all places at the same time. Have you ever noticed how sometimes you'll get a feeling about somebody, and sure enough, the phone rings, and it's them. You say, wow, what a coincidence, just thinking about it. Now, did they think of you, and you pick up the vibration, or did you think of them, and they pick up the vibration? It really doesn't make any difference. You see, part of you is everywhere. You can go everywhere. You can go anywhere. And all the real super creative ones, they know that. They go there. They go to that place. When we really understand this, we will know we can fix anything. I remember in Toronto, at the top of Jarvis Street runs north and south in Toronto. And it's like a T. Right at the top is Bloor Street, runs right across the north side of Toronto. And right at the top of Jarvis Street, there used to be a house. If you drove right across the street, you drive right into the house. It had a great big sign on it, Home for Incurable Children. And as a kid, I knew there was something wrong with that sign. I knew, but I didn't know what it was. But you see, I sensed there was something wrong with it. It wasn't in harmony with the essence of who I am. It wasn't in harmony with the perfection that's within me. I sensed something was wrong with it. I felt it wasn't right. Well, of course, it changed. And I think the house was eventually torn down. But before the house was torn down, I saw somebody really woke up and they had a big sign on it, Home of Happiness. Now, it still probably had the same kids there, but it now was called the Home of Happiness. Imagine if you had a child there and it had Home of Incurable Disease, and you're walking into that, the idea it leaves you with. You see, there's a lot that we don't know. But if this being true, there's no such thing as an incurable disease. There's only diseases that we haven't learned how to cure. Now, as I was a little boy, infantile paralysis was big. We had a bunch of kids in our school died from it. Then they called it polio. And then Jonas Salk wiped it out. Why? He tuned in, you see? Well, we've got to understand this. Spirit's 100% evenly present, all places at the same time. That means there's a part of us that's evenly present. So you can go anywhere, be with anyone at the same time. Now, let these lines represent levels of vibration. We call them frequencies, okay? You understand your phone operates on a frequency. This operates on a frequency. Well, so do you operate on a frequency. Frequency is a level of vibration. There's an infinite number of frequencies. Now, the highest side of you operates on a very high frequency. That's the spiritual side. The lowest side of you operates on a very low frequency. That's the grossest of all frequencies, and that is the physical side of you. Now, because you're different, and of course that's true of the dog and the deer and the cows and the pigs, it's true of all forms of animal life. They too are an expression of spirit, and they live in a physical body. Now, here's where we differ from all other forms of animal life. We've been gifted with an intellect. And because we've been gifted with an intellect, we can tap in on a higher level and change anything on the physical plane. And what we want to understand, that every frequency is hooked up to the one above and the one below. There's no line of demarcation. You know what that means? We're all connected. We're not only connected, we're connected to everything and everything that was or is. This is an enormous idea. Yet the more you play with this, the more it comes into focus in your mind. Well, you see, as a spiritual being, you've been gifted with an intellect and you live in a physical body. Now, as you activate the intellect, you start to tap in to spirit. Now think, spirit's omnipresent, you have an intellect, and you live in a physical body. As you activate intellectual factors, you plug into the non-physical world and you start pulling thoughts together and you can build an idea. And if you hold that idea long enough, it'll do the only thing it can do. It must move into form. That's where Andrew Carnegie told Hill, any idea that's held in the mind, that's emphasized, that's either feared or revered, will begin at once to clothe itself in the most convenient and appropriate form available. You get the idea? That's your goal. If you hold that idea and give it energy, how do you give it energy? By thinking. It must move into form. Most people are building goals to do something they've already done. There's no growth involved in it. You're going sideways. Other people are building goals to do what they think they can do. There's no growth involved in that. Because when you think you can do it, you start to formulate, you take information you've already got. There's no growth. You got to go after goals that you have no idea how you're going to do, where you really fantasize.
I hope you enjoyed this video. We put a lot of good information up here, and it causes everything in your life to get better. If you'd like us to notify you every time we put a new video up, hit subscribe and then turn on notification. Check out all our videos, and we will notify you when we put a new one up.